Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good now. Hope you're doing fine. In this video, we're just gonna do a drawing time lapse. It was supposed to be an Inktober time lapse, but I ended up drawing and drawing and drawing with this one piece. So we're just sticking with this one piece. Right here, you can see me drawing with one of my brush pens, not really liking it that much and just trying to adjust. And now I'm going back to my fine liners, and you can see me using different stencils, I guess. Like different pieces of random stuff that I feel like would make a good stencil. So yeah, I just have washers, bottle caps, old lids, scotch tape rolls. But right here I'm deciding what color I want to use as an accent. So eventually I settled on this blue, yellow, and then a dark red that you'll see later on. Right here though, I'm struggling with my fine liner because honestly I really hate the 0.05 smallest tip. It's just, I hate how it writes on the paper, but I don't have a 0.1, 0.2 anymore. I only have 0.4 and above, so it's all I had, which is fine. I mean, if it works, it works. It does make for good texture though. Good variation at the bottom. But eventually I go back to making another 2 rings. What sucks too about the 0.05 is that it doesn't make a solid line if you're using a ruler. It keeps on skipping, so you have to really etch it in. Here I'm using an old, what do you call it? It's like one of those things you put in the back of a phone, and so you can like put your finger through it. Yeah. That thick metal circle donut looking thing is actually a washer. Oh, no joke. A bearing from an old fidget spinner. So yeah, fun fact of the day. Oh, and I also do end up using a normal ruler, like a normal person. If anyone's wondering what I do or listen to while drawing stuff like this, usually a podcast or a YouTube video that I can just leave on as audio. For this specific session, I think I was listening to some Peter Draws 𝕬𝕒 types. Yeah, they serve as really good background noise. It was from a Peter Draws drawing actually, where I got the idea for this bottom section of the drawing. I wanted more darkness and more depth, so I set aside a large chunk of the paper for it. It really feels satisfying shading in the dark areas. It's tiring, mind you, but really satisfying. Once you complete like a whole section, relief. Your hand is done cramping. You don't have to do it anymore. But no, it feels meditative at the time. I was actually surprised here because I thought I would do simple geometric shapes and a solid dark background. But as you can see at this point, there's like 3 different sections. There's 3 different types of background. I think I add a 4th variation as well later. Anyways, how's your day going? Anything interesting happened today? Do you draw? If you draw, just plug your Instagram in the comments. Actually, yeah, like what do you guys like listening to while you draw? Or if you're one of those people who listen to nothing, why? I mean, not that I'm judging you, it's just, okay, not why, but how do you just deal with the silence? Wild. I love accenting colors. Especially with these brush pens, the brush just writes so cleanly. The ink is so vibrant. I got these brushes from a friend who gave it to me as a Christmas gift or birthday gift. Oh yeah, Christmas gift in 2017. And I really love using these brushes. Fine liners though, fine liners are where I used to spend a lot of my money, because for the budget, like for the price, and for how long they last, and for how consistent they write onto the paper, it's just so reliable. I've tried fountain pens, I've tried Sharpies, but nothing quite beats a fine liner. Yeah.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
It's fine, it's okay. It's fine to mess up, and honestly, it makes drawings better-ish. Even especially if you can't control Z because it's not digital. Having to work a mistake or an accident into your drawing somehow is a fun challenge, and it makes your work more dynamic. I know I do mostly abstract, but the most interesting drawings I've ever made came from accidents. These two domes at the bottom though, those weren't accidents. Those were inspired by a recent Peter Draw's drawing I'd seen, and I really liked the pattern and how they're just naturally felt textured. I have another drawing in my mind that I want to use a similar pattern for. Oops. Yeah, a similar pattern for maybe next week. I've got another watercolor video coming hopefully this week if I edit it on time. But honestly, after not using ink for so long, I really like how this drawing turned out. I liked the whole process actually. I was trying to follow a 𝔻𝕬𝕒𝕚 prompt, but then I just realized, oh, that was my head. Yeah, I was just so sleepy and tired at this point. But anyway, yeah, as I was saying, I was trying to follow a prompt, but then I think I just have so much pent up, bottled up ink drawings that I haven't been able to get out of my system that I needed to scratch that non-prompted itch. I kind of hate how this looks like spaghetti and meatballs-esque, but I'd like to think it's some sort of overgrowth, jungle-esque maybe, could be even a ball of yarn. Or maybe like one of those sand Zen garden things, except you turn it into a sphere. Oh, okay. That's that section completed. It was about 2 a.m. and I had to take a snack while I was on Discord. Okay, yeah, that's the snack done. Ooh, there's so much pain in this part. So I tried to color, and you can see all of the brush strokes kind of being uneven. And I think it's because of the paper just absorbing it in the wrong way. So even if I layer it, it doesn't come out as one solid color, which makes it interesting but frustrating. I tried darkening the outlines here too, but I mess up on the second one here.
No, God!
But it isn't as bad. It just juts out a bit, and I decided to make an iPhone-esque notch, and I guess now a MacBook Pro-esque notch. If you guys have seen the recent Apple event, a really good Apple event, honestly. So much hype for the new MacBook Pros. Here's more thinking. I just didn't know what to put for the right section. I didn't know if I wanted to use the same colors or use maybe some pastel highlighters. But to keep it even, I just used the same colors and then ignored the fourth tiny circle in one of the corners so that I could keep it even. Workarounds, you know. I set the two big spheres to be just darkened in full black, but it turns out that I didn't film that part by accident. Either that or I permanently deleted it, which is pain. So here's the final drawing. Basically, what you missed here, freeze frame, is the coloring of the dark main circles at the top, coloring in of the mini circles in the middle, with tiny huts on top of the flag looking thing on the right, and then also shading in the center sort of mouth position and putting in cross hatching for texture. It kinda ends up looking like a face, you know, with the teeth at the bottom, eyes in the top, whatever the center is as the center. But yeah, whatever you see in the drawing is what you see in the drawing. I'm not gonna argue that. I just hope you enjoyed this video and have a good day. Yeah. See ya.